Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at Joey Logano's Shell Pennzoil Ford for 2022, the next-gen paint scheme. So let's take a look at the box. Here's the generic Elite box again. Except not really going to take a look at these boxes this year. They made a total of 164 of these cars. But anyways, let's get down to the car itself. Now this is actually the updated version of the primary. I mentioned that in the Clash video, but now I'll actually compare the two. Here's the Clash car. As you can see, there's like a bunch of just changes throughout the car. You know, they initially had a shell right here, then they moved to the shell text. You can see in the back, it used to just have AAA discount tire and Auto Trader back there, where they moved discount tire to the C-post and left AAA and Auto Trader down there. The Pennzoil logo got a little bit bigger. And you all see on the hood, Shell was up here, Pennzoil was down here on the original version, and Pennzoil moved back to kind of where it was in the old car. The Clash version of the paint scheme only really ran twice. It ran during the Clash, and then it ran during the Daytona Duel. Once you wrecked in the Duel, for some reason on the back of the car, they then changed it, but it was just a minor change. They just put the shell text like this back on that car, but everything else was the same. It took until Phoenix when they actually debuted this, updated version of the paint scheme. Something just interesting, like I said, I was kind of curious if Lionel was actually going to update the diecast or not. Because I remember back when they first changed it for Daytona, I just kind of made like a thread just kind of asking like, hey, you guys want to, maybe give us the updated version of the car? And Lionel said something about like, I think we're getting updated artwork. And then when it changed to Phoenix again, it's like, okay, so now spent the whole year like, okay, which version of the car is being made? There's 3 different versions of this primary. Luckily, they did pick the version that is, this is the version that ran the whole season, basically. There'll be a race version of this version of the car, too, for the Gateway win, but at the same time, once he won Gateway, kind of me almost want the Daytona 500 version of the car, just so that way you'd have all 3 versions in diecast form, but anyways, let's do a quick 360 of this car. It's funny, they updated this car, but for some reason it didn't get the updated spoiler or anything. You would have thought that would have, this car would have gotten the updated spoiler, since they had to update this car anyways and got a little bit delayed because of that. I definitely do miss the scallops. Like, I knew this was going to happen. Like, I literally said that multiple times, that as soon as they changed from the scallop paint scheme, there was immediately going to be a bunch of people. It's like, no, that's worse, go back. And that's exactly what happened. I actually do like this car. Like, it's got a nice, like, old school feel to it. I definitely like the scallops better, but this car just has, like, a very, retro old school feel to it, just being like a solid yellow car with the red border on the bottom. I do agree that they should have, either got rid of this wheel well or done both wheel wells. Having just the front wheel well been red around it looks a little weird to not have it around the back too, but like I said, I do still like this car. Anyways, let's get down to sponsors. On the hood, you have Pennzoil and Shell. Got Ford Mustang number 22 on the front. Got Pennzoil and Shell on the side. Got AAA and Auto Trader back there. Discount tire on the C-post, like I said. Just have the one winner sticker from the Clash. On the B-post, you have Ford, PPG, Mazak, and Coca-Cola. That's like I pointed out in the Clash video. Like, all the rest of these cars have the regular win sticker there, not the special LA Coliseum win sticker, but that's kind of a shame. Has your regular contingencies and such up front. On the back, you have 22 Crew and Shell Pennzoil. Got the Ford Michigan license plate back there in number 22. Got Shell Pennzoil on the deck lid and Snap-on the roof. This is number 73. Got the same stuff down the other side as usual. See if I can get the hood open on this one. Just does not want to open. Like, there's not even a way to get, like, under it. Oh, wait, this one I got open. Could not get the Clash one open in that review, but there you go. Got Shell and Pennzoil under there, powered by Ford. There's the engine detail if you want to see that. Deck lids still do open on these cars, like I said, with the Elites. Typical fuel cell and such back there, and the roof flaps, of course, do open. And there's the underside of the car if you want to see the underbody. So they do just print the production number on the front here. I just noticed there's a little chunk of the silver on that exhaust piece missing. Never seen that before. Just kind of rubbed off. Anyways, this is a brand new release. You can get this right now. I don't think this car is going to get rare, because if it's anything like the last car, this car is probably going to stay the same for the next 10 years, for all we know. Said if you want this paint scheme and you want the updated version and erased version, you just gotta wait for the Gateway win. As you know, like I said, the Clash win is the original version of the paint scheme. I'm definitely glad they made some of the changes. Like, when they first revealed that Clash version of the paint scheme, my first immediate reaction was, why in the world is there a shell on the quarter panel instead of just saying shell? Like, it just did not look good. It's just kind of a distorted shell. I'm just bring the Clash version back out here. I really just don't like how this looks. Like, look from the side. Like, it's like a distorted shell. You have to get, like, from the right angle for it to look normal. So I always thought that was a very odd choice, and I'm glad that Shell agreed, because they immediately changed it back after a couple times. It's worth pointing out that they did change the backup car. A lot of people were like, oh, the backup car was just the new paint scheme, and that's why it was changed a little bit. Like, no. There's a photo of them taking the backup car out of the hauler, and it has still just the Shell logo. It doesn't actually say Shell on it. It was like the next day is when they, for some reason, well, I mean, it's pretty obvious why they changed it, because it doesn't look that great, but it was the next day before you actually got to see they changed it to just the Shell logo, and then, like I said, they kind of reworked the paint scheme even more by the time it ran again, but definitely interesting. Said it makes that Clash win a more unique diecast, and the only way to get the original version of the paint scheme. Remember, for all of your diecast needs, you can go to circlebdiecast.com, and if you use the code BWhack, you get $5 off shipping on any order over $30. So go check that out if you want anything. Now here's also the diecast chassis 1/64 for this car if you want to see that. But anyways, I think that's pretty much all there is to say. This has been a review of Joey Logano's Shell Pennzoil Ford for 2022. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.